The stars shimmered silently above Earth's orbit, a vast canvas of black and silver. From the surface, they were beautiful and distant, but to the people aboard the orbital fleet, the stars were dangerous. Tonight, every light could hide a threat. Every shadow could conceal a weapon far beyond human understanding. Earth's fleet, once proud and confident, now moved like hunted prey in the silent vastness of space. Admiral Lena Torres gripped the edge of the bridge console, her knuckles white. Around her, the command center buzzed with tension. Holographic displays projected alien ships, sleek and angular, moving in precise formations that spoke of centuries of practice. Every maneuver, every adjustment was perfectly calculated. Humanity's ships, though brave and fast, looked clumsy against the alien fleet. "We're outnumbered nearly 3-1, said Commander Ravi Singh, his voice calm but strained. "Our fighters can't hold them off much longer. If the alien fleet maintains this formation, Earth's orbital defenses will be neutralized in less than 4 hours." Admiral Torres nodded. She knew he was right. Earth had invested decades in preparing its fleet, building the fastest, most advanced ships they could, and training crews for every possible scenario. But nothing had prepared them for this. The aliens didn't just attack, they analyzed, anticipated, and exploited every human weakness without firing a single missile yet. "Communications?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Lieutenant Juno tapped at her console. "All channels are being jammed. They're not responding to hails. I can't even send messages to the colonies. It's like we're alone out here." Torres swallowed hard. Alone. That word felt heavy. The humans aboard the fleet were the last line of defense for their planet. Below them, billions of lives waited, unaware that their survival now depended on a few thousand trained sailors and pilots. If they failed, "Admiral," Singh said, pointing at the main holographic display, "look at this. The alien ships, they're not attacking aggressively." "They're hurting us," Torres frowned. "Hurting? What do you mean?" Singh gestured toward the display. "Every time one of our ships moves to escape or reposition, they adjust formation to block the path. They're guiding us, not destroying us. It's psychological. They want us to feel trapped without actually firing a shot." Torres felt a chill run down her spine. It was worse than she thought. They weren't fighting for victory. They were being tested, studied, humiliated. Earth had never faced an enemy that saw them as experiments. "Orders?" she asked. Singh hesitated. "We keep our positions, try to maintain formation and protect civilian evacuation ships. If they want to surrender, we'll give them nothing." Across the fleet, alarms began to sound, not for attacks but for proximity sensors. Something was moving, something huge. Torres squinted at the display. At first she thought it was another alien fleet formation, but the readings didn't match any known design. "What is that?" she whispered. Juno's fingers flew over the console. "I don't know, it's massive. And it's decloaking." A silence fell over the bridge. Decloaking meant revealing a ship that had been invisible to sensors, technology humanity had never mastered. And yet, here it was, materializing in the empty darkness of space, right between Earth and the alien fleet. The holographic display shimmered, showing a shape unlike any human or alien design. Its hull was smooth, reflective, almost organic in appearance, with glowing lines running along its surface like veins of light. It was large, far larger than Earth's biggest battleships, yet it moved with grace, not aggression. Torres felt her heart pound. "Open communication channels. Attempt contact." "Admiral," Juno said, hesitation in her voice, "we've tried. The ship isn't responding to any standard protocols. No hails are getting through." Singh leaned forward. "Could it be an alien decoy?" Torres shook her head. "No, this isn't the same energy signature as the fleet we're fighting. Whatever it is, it's new. And it's here for us, not them." The unknown ship stopped in the void, positioning itself deliberately between Earth and the alien formation. The alien ships paused, almost in confusion. No one moved, no one fired. The stars seemed quieter suddenly, as if the universe itself were watching. Then, a message appeared on Earth's comm systems. It was strange, a jumble of symbols and shapes, overlaid with something familiar. The human code team leaned in, decoding frantically. "It's using early human language," Juno said, eyes wide. "Old Earth dialects, Latin, Sanskrit, some Old English, and there are unknown symbols mixed in." Tors couldn't believe it. Old human language, how, why? Sing's face went pale. "It's impossible. Nothing in any archives shows anything like this. They couldn't have. No one in the galaxy knows these languages well enough. How is it sending a message we can even interpret?" The ship's message finally completed decoding. "Humans are not alone. Stand fast. Observation ends here. You are ready." The words were simple, almost gentle, yet carried a weight that settled into every mind aboard the fleet. The humans weren't weak. They weren't alone. Someone or something had been watching them, guiding them, waiting for this moment. Tors felt a swell of emotion she hadn't allowed herself to feel in weeks. Pride, relief, hope. She looked at Sing and the crew, prepare to follow its lead. "We don't know what's coming, but this ship, it's on our side." Meanwhile, the alien fleet shifted uneasily. Their formations, once confident and precise, now wavered. The unknown ship did nothing but exist, but its presence disrupted every calculation, every prediction the aliens had made. Their confidence faltered. "Admiral," Juno said, voice trembling slightly, "it's not attacking. But look at this. Defensive shields are activating around us without firing a shot." The fleet watched as invisible barriers seemed to spring into place. Every human ship felt safer, not because the Guardian ship was firing, but because it was controlling the space around them. Every missile, every energy pulse from the alien fleet was absorbed, redirected, or neutralized. Humanity was still outnumbered, still under threat. But suddenly, for the first time in hours, they had a chance. Tors straightened. She had faced countless crises in her career, but nothing like this. Humanity had never seen a friend in the void. And now here was one, massive and silent, showing them that even in a galaxy that doubted them, humans could rise, not through brute force, but through resilience, intelligence, and allies that even the aliens didn't understand. She felt the tension in the bridge lift slightly, replaced by cautious optimism. "All crews," she said, voice steady and commanding, "maintain formation. Prepare for guidance. Today we learn what humanity can truly do." Outside the viewports, the stars sparkled, indifferent to the struggles below. But the unknown ship glided gracefully among them, a guardian from an era long forgotten, poised to teach humanity a lesson the universe would never forget. And so Earth's last hope waited, not for victory through fire or war, but for understanding, for strategy, and for a friend who had arrived just in time. The battle was far from over, but for the first time, humanity felt like it could stand tall. The unknown ship hovered silently in orbit, its glowing lines casting faint reflections across the human fleet. Despite its immense size, it moved with a quiet elegance that belied any aggressive intent. Every human aboard Earth's orbital defenses felt it, a presence not of threat, but of authority and reassurance. It was as if the universe itself had sent a guide to help humanity navigate its first true test. Admiral Lena Tors paced the bridge, her mind racing. She had spent years preparing for alien encounters, studying tactics and building the fleet. And yet this ship defied every expectation. It did not attack, it did not demand, it simply existed, and in its existence it altered the balance of the battle. "Commander Singh," she said, "what do we know so far about this ship?" Singh shook his head. "Nothing concrete. Energy readings are unlike anything in our databases. It doesn't match any alien or human design we've ever seen. And the message it sent, it's written in old human languages. Latin, Sanskrit, some Old English, mixed with symbols we can't identify." Lieutenant Juno leaned over her console. "It's like it's communicating with us in a language meant only for humans, almost like it was waiting for us to understand it. Tors exhaled slowly. If that's true, why now? Why reveal itself at this moment? Singh glanced at the holographic display, showing the alien fleet holding position, uncertain. It seems to want us to stand firm, but it's more than that. Look at how the alien fleet reacts. They're hesitating. They've never encountered anything like this before. Indeed, the aliens, once so confident, were now disorganized. Their sleek formations wavered, ships drifting slightly out of alignment. Something about the unknown vessel unsettled them. Tors realized that its presence alone was not a threat, it was a force of authority. On the bridge, Juno's fingers flew over her console again. Admiral, I think I'm getting partial data from their systems. The ship isn't just passive, it's scanning us. Not in a hostile way, more like observation. Observation, Tors repeated. You mean like studying humans? Juno nodded. Exactly, and it's selective. It's not scanning the alien fleet, only us. A chill ran down Tor's spine. Humanity had been watched for centuries, perhaps millennia, by a force that now chose to reveal itself. But why? And what did it want in return? Suddenly, the ship sent another message. This time, it was different. The holographic display flickered, and a calm voice echoed across every communication channel, surprisingly gentle yet filled with certainty. Humans, you have grown beyond the expectation of your observers. Your resilience and cooperation are rare. The time has come to learn your purpose among the stars. The bridge fell silent. Tors could feel every crew member holding their breath. Even the normally stoic Commander Singh seemed momentarily at a loss for words. This is impossible, Singh finally said. It knows who we are. It knows what we are capable of, and somehow it believes in us. Tor's gaze locked on the ship outside the viewport. If it believes in us, maybe it's here to help, but help how? The ship's hull pulsed, a soft rhythm like a heartbeat. Then, without warning, it deployed subtle energy fields around the human ships. No beams, no weapons, just invisible shields that absorbed minor collisions and redirected energy. Every human vessel felt safer, as if the ship was wrapping them in protective arms. Juno's voice trembled with awe. Admiral, it's not giving us weapons, it's giving us safety, guidance. It wants us to stand on our own, but protected enough to survive. Singh's eyes narrowed. That means the aliens aren't the real threat. They're a test. This ship is evaluating how we respond under pressure, and it's giving us a chance to prove ourselves. Tors took a deep breath, feeling a weight lift from her shoulders. Prepare a transmission, she ordered. We need to communicate. If it's here for us, we need to understand its purpose. The communication team scrambled, carefully composing a message in multiple human languages, attempting to show respect and intelligence rather than fear. Moments later, the ship responded, not with words but with a sequence of images and symbols. The visuals showed human history, early civilizations, explorers venturing into the unknown, moments of unity and discovery. Then suddenly the ship's imagery became more abstract. Schematics, maps of stars, diagrams of unknown energy sources, and symbols that no one on Earth could fully decipher. Lieutenant Juno gasped. These are instructions, guidance, knowledge for survival and advancement. It's giving us lessons, but not in weapons, more in understanding. Tor's heart raced. It's teaching us how to think beyond our limitations, how to survive and adapt in ways the aliens can't anticipate. Singh's expression darkened. And the aliens, they're still observing. They have no idea what's coming. They think they are superior, but this ship, it's rewriting the rules, not with firepower but with intelligence and restraint. Humanity may be underestimated, but that's about to change. The alien fleet, confused and unsettled, began to retreat slowly. Their formations were no longer precise, their movements cautious. Every attempt to attack the human fleet was blocked or neutralized by the invisible shields, and every strategy they attempted seemed predicted. On Earth's bridge, A quiet cheer rose among the crew. Hope, fragile but bright, began to replace the fear that had gripped them for weeks. Humanity had a chance, not through violence but through resilience, guidance, and the wisdom of a protector who had waited patiently for this moment. The Guardian ship, as the humans had begun to call it, then sent another message. This time the words were clear and direct. Humans are ready to inherit knowledge. Your species has survived countless trials and reached a point where observation is no longer sufficient. You must now prepare to stand among the stars without intervention, but with wisdom. Tors felt a lump in her throat. She had spent her life training for war, for defense, for survival. But this was something different. The universe was offering humanity a hand, not as a child but as a young species ready to grow. Commander Singh broke the silence. Admiral, if this is true, then everything we've done, every struggle, every effort, it was not just survival. It was preparation for something greater than we imagined. Juno's eyes shone with excitement. And it's giving us a chance to prove ourselves, not with weapons but with understanding. It's showing us that intelligence, unity, and courage matter more than brute force. Tors nodded slowly. Then we must learn. We must absorb every lesson, every instruction. Humanity is no longer alone, and if we are to face the challenges ahead, we must rise to meet them with wisdom, strategy, and courage. The Guardian ship continued to hover, its presence calm and reassuring. Its energy lines pulsed gently, like a heartbeat in the void. For the first time, humanity felt that the stars were not a place of fear, but a place of opportunity. Hours passed as communication continued. The Guardian shared maps of nearby star systems, hints about energy manipulation, and even philosophical teachings about cooperation and empathy on a cosmic scale. Every lesson was subtle, non-threatening, yet powerful. It was teaching humanity to think beyond survival, teaching them to understand the universe. Earth's fleet followed carefully, guided by the Guardian's subtle maneuvers. Every human pilot and crew member could feel the difference. They were no longer just participants in a desperate battle. They were learners, apprentices in a school that spanned the stars. As the alien fleet withdrew entirely, confused and humbled, Tors allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had survived not because of superior firepower, but because of resilience, intelligence, and the timely arrival of a protector that had waited patiently for the right moment. Tors looked at Singh and Juno. Prepare a full report to Earth Command. Not just of the alien encounter, but of the ship, its teachings, and its guidance. Humanity must understand that our path has changed. We are no longer simply defending our planet. We are learning to rise among the stars. Juno nodded, her fingers flying over the console. And the Guardian, it won't stay forever, will it? Tors shook her head slowly. No, its mission is temporary. It's here to teach us, to protect us during this trial. But soon, humanity will stand on its own. Singh's gaze drifted to the viewports. Then we must be ready. Not just for enemies, but for the future it has prepared us for. Outside, the Guardian ship pulsed softly, a beacon of hope and knowledge in the vast blackness of space. Humanity's first real test was over, and yet it felt like only the beginning. For the first time, humans understood that survival was not just about fighting. It was about learning, adapting, and rising to meet the universe with intelligence and courage. And humanity, guided by a ship that should not exist, was ready to take its first steps into the stars. The Guardian ship lingered above Earth like a silent sentinel, its glowing lines reflecting the light of distant stars. Humans aboard the fleet had grown accustomed to its presence, though they still marveled at its silent authority. They had followed its guidance through the alien standoff, and now, for the first time, the Guardian seemed ready to reveal more than just survival strategies. Admiral Lena Tors watched as her crew worked in quiet awe. Sensors and communication consoles hummed with activity, translating the Guardian's messages into forms that humans could understand. Every message, every symbol, carried layers of meaning. It was more than technology, it was history, philosophy, and a roadmap for growth. Commander Ravi Singh leaned toward Tors. "Admiral, I've been studying the latest transmissions. It's showing us our past, or at least what it calls our observed origins." Tors raised an eyebrow. "Observed origins? Explain." Singh pointed to the main display. Images flickered across the hologram. Early humans exploring Earth, building cities, learning to cooperate in groups, navigating challenges that seemed insurmountable. But then the images shifted, slightly strange, almost alien. Humans had been guided subtly, without realizing it. Tools appeared where they had been needed, knowledge seemed to appear in just the right moment, and survival came when it seemed impossible. "It's like someone has been watching over us," Singh said, voice low. "Not controlling us but guiding us, making sure we survived." Tors stared at the display, trying to comprehend the magnitude of the revelation. For centuries, millennia even, humanity was being observed. And this ship was part of it. Juno, her eyes wide, pointed at another set of symbols. "Not just observed, Admiral. It's saying that humans were considered unique, adaptable, cooperative. That's why the Guardian exists, to protect and prepare us until we were ready." A quiet murmur spread across the bridge. Humanity had long believed it was alone, struggling against the cosmos with nothing but its own ingenuity. And yet now, it seemed, they had been chosen for something greater, something their ancestors could not have imagined. The Guardian sent another transmission, this time a sequence of abstract images and star maps. It was clear. Humanity had been placed under subtle protection, watched by an ancient interstellar alliance that valued life capable of growth and cooperation. And now Earth faced the first true test, recognition by the galaxy. Tors felt a surge of emotion. "We're not just surviving, we're part of something larger, but why reveal ourselves now? Why not earlier?" Juno answered without hesitation. "Because we needed to prove ourselves, not by fighting but by showing resilience, unity, and intelligence. The Guardian waited until we could stand on our own, or at least almost on our own." Singh's expression darkened. "And the alien coalition, they underestimated us. They didn't know this history existed. Their confidence was based on incomplete knowledge. They thought we were weak." Tors nodded. "And they were wrong." She looked at the viewports where the alien ships had retreated in disarray. "They may have technology, weapons, speed, but they lacked patience, understanding, and perspective. Humanity has both. That's our advantage." The Guardian continued its transmissions, this time sending data streams directly into Earth's systems. Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to interpret the information. It included star charts, energy manipulation techniques, and even subtle ethical frameworks for cooperation with alien species. It was as if the ship was not just preparing humanity for defense, but for diplomacy, discovery, and growth across the stars. Juno glanced at the Admiral. "Admiral, it's giving us everything but not controlling us. It's saying, you are ready to learn, you are ready to lead. You must now decide what kind of species you want to become." Tors allowed herself a small smile. "We've fought for survival before, but this is different. This is guidance toward purpose, not just safety." Singh added quietly, "And if we fail to understand it, we risk wasting this chance. The Guardian didn't just appear to save us, it appeared to teach us, and the galaxy is watching." The human fleet absorbed the lessons, not as orders but as opportunity. Pilots, engineers, and scientists alike felt a sense of responsibility heavier than any battle. The Guardian's presence reminded them that strength alone was not enough. They needed intelligence, empathy, and vision. Meanwhile, on the alien side, confusion reigned. Their commanders had no historical record of the Guardian ship. Their strategies were failing, not because of human weaponry, but because humans had gained a new kind of advantage: understanding. Every calculation the aliens made was undone by unseen variables, subtle decisions, and the humans' ability to adapt. One alien observer transmitted a warning across their fleet, but the message was too late. They had been tested and failed, not by force, but by circumstance. The Guardian had given humanity an advantage they could not comprehend. Back on Earth's bridge, Tors received a new transmission. It was direct and clear this time. Humans, your species was observed because of potential. Potential for cooperation, learning, and adaptability. The alien coalition does not understand you. They see only the present, not the future. You must now claim your place in the galaxy. Use knowledge, unity, and wisdom as your tools. Tors exhaled, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. This is more than survival. This is a mission of growth, of proving who we are to ourselves and to the galaxy. We can no longer think of Earth as isolated. We are part of something larger, and now we must act accordingly. Singh leaned back, staring at the Guardian ship. Do you think they've been waiting for us to reach this point? That this moment, the alien encounter, was planned as a test? Tors nodded slowly. It seems that way. We've been given knowledge and opportunity. The Guardian is showing us the path, but it's up to us to walk it. Juno added softly, and it won't stay forever. It's said that its mission is observation and protection until humanity is ready. Soon, we will be alone, and when that time comes, we must not stumble. The Guardian's energy lines pulsed gently, as if acknowledging her words. There was no pride, no condescension, only quiet expectation. Humanity had been entrusted with something immense, the chance to rise. Over the next hours, the Guardian guided the fleet to safer positions in orbit, away from potential threats. It offered suggestions for planetary defense, resource distribution, and energy management. Its lessons were subtle but profound, teaching humans to anticipate challenges, communicate effectively, and make decisions with clarity. Tors watched as human crews absorbed the guidance, seeing in their eyes the same wonder and determination she felt herself. Humanity was learning, not by force, but by understanding. They were being prepared to face not just alien fleets, but the vast, complex, and often unpredictable galaxy itself. As the alien coalition retreated into the void, Admiral Tors addressed her fleet over comms. Crew members, today we have witnessed something extraordinary. We have not fought to destroy. We have not fought to dominate. We have fought to learn, to endure, and to rise. Our place in the stars is no longer a question. It is a responsibility, and together we will carry it forward. The fleet echoed her message with cheers, a sound of unity, pride, and renewed hope. For the first time, humans felt truly prepared to face what lay beyond Earth's atmosphere, not through force alone, but through intelligence, cooperation, and purpose. The Guardian ship, its mission progressing, transmitted one final message for the moment. Remember, humans, strength alone is not your gift. Wisdom, unity, and courage are your true inheritance. Stand together and the galaxy will remember you. Stand divided and the opportunity is lost. Choose carefully. Tors smiled, her mind racing with possibilities. We are ready, she said softly. Not because we are perfect, but because we are human. And being human means learning, growing, and adapting. That is our inheritance. Outside, the Guardian remained in orbit, a silent teacher in the vastness of space. Humanity had survived the battle, learned the lesson, and now faced the future with new knowledge and purpose. The stars were no longer merely distant points of light. They were a challenge, a promise, and an invitation. The galaxy had watched humanity's trial, and humanity had begun to awaken to its true potential. The Guardian ship hovered silently above Earth, its glowing lines pulsing softly in the darkness of space. For weeks, it had guided humanity, teaching, protecting, and preparing the human fleet for the challenges they could not yet imagine. But even the most patient teacher must eventually step back, and now the moment had come. Admiral Lena Torres stood on the bridge of the flagship Liberty, watching the Guardian through the viewports. Her crew had grown used to its presence, but a quiet tension filled the air. Everyone knew that soon the ship would leave. When it did, humanity would face the galaxy fully on its own. "Admiral," Commander Ravi Singh said, breaking the silence, "we've been following its guidance, learning its lessons, but leaving is different. Without it, we are truly alone. Are we ready?" Torres exhaled slowly. "We've survived attacks, navigated impossible challenges, and learned more in these weeks than humanity has in centuries. Alone or not, we cannot depend on anyone else. That's the point. The Guardian taught us how to stand on our own." Lieutenant Juno added quietly, "And yet, part of me is scared. We've relied on it for so long. Its shields, its guidance, it has kept us safe while we learned. What happens if we make a mistake?" Torres turned to her. "Then we learn from it. Humanity is not perfect. But we adapt, we cooperate, and we grow stronger every time we face the unknown." The Guardian knew that. That's why it stayed until now. The Guardian's voice echoed across the fleet, calm and precise. "Humans, you have learned patience, strategy, and unity. Your potential is now yours alone. Guidance ends. You must act, decide, and lead without intervention. Your future begins now." The fleet fell silent, absorbing the weight of the message. It was not a threat, but a challenge. Humanity had survived, but survival alone was no longer enough. They were being called to take their place in the galaxy, to act with wisdom, intelligence, and courage. Tor stepped closer to the viewports. The Guardian began to move, slowly drifting away from Earth's orbit. Its massive form reflected starlight, a quiet beacon leaving its students to walk on their own. She could feel the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders, not just as an admiral, but as a representative of humanity. "Prepare a final transmission to Earth," Torres ordered. "We need the entire planet to understand that the Guardian is leaving and that our future is now in our hands." Juno and Singh worked quickly, sending a clear, simple message. The Guardian has departed. Humanity is no longer alone, but it is also no longer protected. Our actions, decisions, and unity will shape our future. Stand together. Learn. Grow. The stars await. On Earth, billions watched as the holographic feed displayed the Guardian's departure. The world held its breath, realizing that humanity had survived an alien test, learned from an ancient protector, and now faced the universe fully responsible for its own destiny. In the fleet, the first order came from Torres. "All ships, assume strategic positions. Begin surveys of nearby star systems. We are explorers now, not just defenders." Singh nodded. "And contact the colonies. Share the knowledge we have gained. Spread it across humanity. Our survival and growth depend on cooperation, not isolation." Juno smiled, finally feeling excitement replace fear. "We are ready. It's strange, for the first time the unknown feels possible, not threatening, possible." The Guardian continued to drift away, becoming smaller against the backdrop of stars. It pulsed one final time, a soft wave of light sweeping across the fleet, a silent farewell, a mark of trust in humanity's ability to thrive. Torres felt a lump in her throat. "It's gone." Singh placed a hand on her shoulder. "No, Admiral, it's not gone. It left us with something stronger than protection. It left us with knowledge, wisdom, and confidence. We are ready. Humanity is ready." As Earth's fleet began to move independently, guided only by human judgment and collaboration, the first steps of a new era began. Exploration missions were planned, diplomatic communications were prepared, and the first tentative messages were sent to nearby star systems. Humanity was no longer isolated or underestimated. Weeks passed, and the lessons from the Guardian were applied. Humans learned to anticipate challenges, negotiate conflicts, and make decisions with foresight. Technology advanced as never before, not through stolen secrets or alien weapons, but through understanding, creativity, and collaboration. Tors often reflected on the Guardian's teachings. It had shown them that true strength came not from force, but from intelligence and unity. It had reminded humanity that adaptability and cooperation were their greatest tools. And it had proven that even a species considered insignificant could rise above expectations with determination and courage. One day, as the fleet surveyed a distant system, Lieutenant Juno pointed at a small, rocky planet. "Admiral, this world could support a colony. We could establish a forward base, continue learning, and ensure humanity's future beyond Earth." Tors smiled. "Exactly. Every step we take now is a choice. We decide what kind of species we will become, and together we can rise higher than anyone expected." Singh added thoughtfully, "The galaxy is watching, not as observers but as potential allies and rivals, and humanity has proven that it can be trusted or at least respected. That's a start." Tors looked at the fleet. Ships of all sizes moved in careful formation, their crews confident and prepared. The legacy of the Guardian lived on, not as a protector in the shadows, but as a teacher whose lessons were etched into the hearts and minds of every human. The fleet continued its journey, scanning star systems, mapping resources, and making first contact attempts with distant civilizations. Each encounter was approached with caution, curiosity, and respect, guided by the wisdom imparted by the Guardian. Humanity had learned that the universe was vast and complex, but also that understanding and intelligence could bridge gaps that force could not. One evening, Tors stood on the Bridge of Liberty, staring at the stars. The Guardian was long gone, yet its presence remained. Humanity had been tested, taught, and set free. The galaxy was no longer a distant, unknowable void. It was an invitation, a challenge, and a promise. Tors spoke softly, almost to herself, but also to the fleet. We were never alone. We had guidance, but the responsibility was always ours. The stars are now ours to explore, to understand, and to grow among. We are human, and that is enough to rise above any challenge. The fleet moved steadily through space, united, confident, and alive with possibility. Humanity had survived its trial, learned its lesson, and now faced the infinite future with determination and hope. Above them, distant stars sparkled as if in acknowledgement. Humanity had claimed its place among them, not through domination, not through destruction, but through courage, intelligence, and unity. And as the first human messages were broadcast to the stars, carrying greetings, knowledge, and goodwill, the universe listened. Humanity had proven that it could stand tall. The Guardian had departed, but its legacy remained eternal, a reminder that strength was not only in power, but in wisdom, that courage was not only in battle, but in understanding, and that humanity, when united and determined, could rise to meet the universe and claim its rightful place among the stars. For the first time in history, humans did not fear the unknown, they embraced it, and the galaxy, vast and infinite, watched as a species that had once been underestimated began to shine. Humanity had stood on its own. Humanity had risen. And humanity's journey had only just begun.